Hi guys, this is Robin with Weight Loss Apocalypse. I am going to share with you today a session that, well, part of a session that was recorded a few years ago. This client came to me as a binge eater. She had done the HCG protocol, lost a bunch of weight. Binge eating came back with full force, regained over 50 pounds, found me on YouTube. And so we, what I love about this session is how we're basically discussing the misconception that often when people watch my YouTube videos, they believe that their recovery is going to be really quick, because sometimes the people I work with, it's quick. Can we stop it now? Okay, get out. Come on, go fight somewhere else. Let's see if I can show you what's going on here. Okay, I'm going to work through that. So we're talking about how the actual recovery process, how hard it is, that it may be perceived really easy from the viewer's position, but when someone is actually going through it, it's very intense. The work that we're doing together is very direct and very intense. So some people get an incredible degree of recovery, and then they go into what I call a relapse, or they go in and out, in and out. And for her, it wasn't an immediate recovery as she wanted, you know. And it did take her, in order to fully grasp the internal sense of what it was going to take for her to recover, it took having a sense of that recovery and then getting sucked back into wanting to lose weight. In this session, we talk about, you know, the need to lose weight, the curiosity of losing weight, the hope for losing weight, compared to the actual suffering of having to fix your weight and how that impacts your eating. So, okay, this dog's driving me crazy. I wanted to get this video posted. So, the link to the entire video, which is not a big one, it's a 20-minute video, is below. This is only a 10-minute clip, so you're getting just a taste of the conversation. And I do have to say that this conversation that I'm having in this session is a conversation I have to have with everybody. Everybody gets to the point where their recovery, okay, get out! Where their recovery is, they hit a bottom point where they have to accept what I'm telling them to do. Where it's not just me telling them to do something, it comes to them realizing, oh shit, I have to do it. And they feel it and they see it and they do it. So, all right, enjoy. Oh, if you want to watch my new videos, you're going to have to join Patreon, which is below. That link's below. We were just discussing, you know, you had watched my YouTube videos for over a year, right? And there's kind of a variety, right? Because I have binge eaters that I work with, bulimics. I also have anorexic clients, and I have everybody in between. So we were talking. We've been working together now for 6 weeks or so. Yeah. And it's been a process. It's been a process. And it's taken layers of work, don't you agree? Layers of experimentation is a better word, because this whole thing is experimental. I give you, you basically are where you're at when you come to see me. And then wouldn't you agree that I position you, remember that first session, I position you, relieve the body image, follow hunger rhythm, see what happens to your impulses, right? Yes. Immediately you get that sense of freedom and that euphoria. And usually what happens is the need for body image for many people, the need for that weight loss or need to defend their thinness, wherever they are on the spectrum, can come back, right? And so wouldn't you agree that there is a process of understanding the cause, right? The cause of the eating disorder, which is body image, and the lack of grace around it. Yes. So those are the two things that need to be
present.
Okay, now you're saying that today with your own awareness. It's not just me guiding you there, is it?
No, not at all. I was just saying that, my expectation of myself, not of you, was that I was gonna have the instantaneous shift, and instead it's been little shifts, learning, step back, step forward. Um, there's been a lot of steps that have had to occur for me to get to a place where I'm starting to really feel free at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you had said when you first worked with me, you were expecting to have this instantaneous mega shift, right?
Yep.
You could say
it was going to be solved in the snap of a finger, and everything was going to be
amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
And I had said to you, hold on a second. Usually when people watch my videos, they can see these people and to be honest with you, there have been videos with you and I where you have had a shift, and we're talking about that shift.
For sure.
And someone who's watching from the outside is going to go, oh, I want that shift. And they don't necessarily have a reference to compare themselves and what that shift is. They just hear you have a shift, right? You have this amazing epiphany or awareness that has changed your sense of the food and environments, but they don't necessarily see or hear how you go in and out of that, right? Because we could say our first session is very pivotal for many people because it's the first time that they get a sense of that freedom. Like, wow, what it feels like to have access to what unconditional love is. You had that. Everybody does. That's my main goal in those sessions, is to get you to see, to get rid of some of the major hookups in terms of how to forgive others, to forgive the past, to forgive yourself, and then to just even pretend, what would life be if there was no need to lose weight?
Right.
And you get this like, oh my God, but it's not necessarily an intrinsic decision and an internally decided freedom.
Right.
Because that requires that you permanently never again try to lose weight. Right? So you might temporarily say, yes, I'm giving myself this incredible freedom and sense of love. Right? I will love my body for now. And then there is a moment, right, where you're like, but I need to lose this weight. For you, it was your friend that said, I'm going to do a sugar detox. And you're like, yes, I'm going to do it.
Right, yeah, last week that's what it was.
Quick. And you can see how quickly you go right back into that space of that sharp, intense shame, judgment, perfectionism, fixing. It's intense, right? Then we pull you back out.
Yes.
And you can see, once you go back into that, you can see that very clearly that the eating disorder is there only because of the pressure to fix the body.
Yes.
Right? And this judgment with lack of lenience within the food. Okay? So you can see it and you're like, wow, there's a definite connection. If I want that freedom from the insanity of the diet, fixing it, judgment, shame, starvation, binging. If you want freedom from that, you could see that there is a direct cause with the need to lose weight or fix your weight gain or to keep your weight losses, right? Defending the losses. So this week, you got a sense of that. We said, go back to eating to hunger, and you are to give yourself a ton of grace. Nothing is perfect. You give yourself the learning curve. And this week you had a very similar experience with, it was different. In what way?
Well, I had, are you referencing getting on the scale?
Yes. So you had a different.
So I got on the scale just, as you put it, out of curiosity, and I gained a pound.
Hold on, but that curiosity was because you honestly felt like your body was changing, right?
Yes.
And I warn everybody, hey, when you lose weight, that's a very big vulnerability because you're going to think, ooh, it's working, right? That's the old mentality immediately going, I'm losing weight, there's this weird sense about, oh, I've been eating so well, right? Let's check it. I just want to see what's going on. So you weighed yourself and you had gained a pound.
I did, and I had gained a pound and immediately went into life or death scenario. A life or death situation.
Over 1 pound.
Over 1 pound. Okay, now I need to fix this, and immediately in my head, it was like a computer screen that came up with my to-do list of everything that needed to happen for me to fix this.
After you binge, right? Remember, it was after the binge, because you were going to binge as soon as you saw that. Remember, you were like,
that was part of the plan, absolutely, but it never occurred. But it took me, it did take me hours before I started thinking, okay, this is not rational thinking or the thinking of a reasonable person. This is crazy, and there is nothing wrong with with having gained 1 pound, because it actually doesn't mean anything at all. It's a number, and it doesn't have anything to do with what I'm how I live my life or anything. So,
yeah, and I had said the assumption too is that it's a pound of body fat, which is so exposing the brainwashing of the diet culture.
Yes.
Right. So those people who are listening to this video are like, oh my God, you gained a pound? How do you even do this? Right? Because the brainwashing is telling you that this is a pound of fat. Whereas the intellect and the knowledge of someone who's been educated would say, oh, well, the body goes up 3 to 4 pounds a day in fluid and waste and water retention. By the time you wake up in the morning, you've been dehydrated. You should be less in weight no matter what you do. Right?
Well, and
so
by
it's
the time
weird.
that I was in it, my 1 pound, because of how the life or death situation that that my mind put myself in, is that my 1 pound was no different than the 50 that I needed to lose immediately.
Yeah, that's brainwashing.
It was 1 pound to 50 immediately.
Yeah, because it's an emotional problem. It's not an actual physical problem. If we look at that 1 pound, I could say, hey, I gained 3 pounds. Why is it that I didn't have the same fury, right? Because I used to think I was going to die. I would exercise for hours if there was any fluctuation. Anyway, so you actually stepped back and saw, first of all, the weight, the feeling bad about it, the impulses to binge because you decided I'm just going to eat really little tomorrow, and you could see it now very differently because you were outside of it.
Yes.
So all of a sudden, because you're not inside taking all of this stuff credible and just going with it, you have the ability to say, hold on a second, my weight, the impulse to fix it, the impulse to binge, then you were like, hold on.
Right, that's a crazy person.
Let's go to the beginning.
Yes.
I don't need to fix that pound. That pound shouldn't create this. I'm not going to defend that. Which immediately, notice what happens to the binging impulse.
Yes, everything went away.
Just poof. Poof gone.
Yes.
Okay. You were capable, that witness, right? The ability to witness that and to witness how